Go for it, lads. I'm good, mate. I'm good. How are you?
And is the season called off, Alex? Are we going to call the season off now? Done did?
Done and dusted, I reckon it should be.
And
doesn't
is
need
the
to be
season
called off by
Alex?
the weather either. Have a look at the ladder and you'll know what I'm on about.
Absolutely. So, yeah, we are joined by Alex Evans. Mate,
How are we?
Muchly appreciated for having you on, mate.
No, pleasure. Thank you very much for having me.
So, yeah, as I said, guys, jump in the chat. We will probably be here for about an hour, and we'll talk, obviously, a smidge about last week's game. We'll talk about the game coming up this week and whatever topics you guys have that you want to throw at us and so forth about anything football related or anything like that. So, yeah, may as well start off, lads. Brisbane, thoughts, Ben? What do you reckon, mate? What can we take out of a, what do you say, dismal performance?
Probably the best 90 minutes that we've been able to string together all season.
Yeah.
A complete 90 minutes, not one half of good and then one half of absolute trash.
Yeah, I'd probably go along with that, mate. Alex?
Look, for me, it's just one of those performances where you've got to look back on and you think that we've thrown away 2 points. You know, we're bottom of the league. They were second bottom of the league. And you know, you got 3-4 minutes left in the game and you're throwing 2 points away like that. You know, and it could have been worse. You know, Brisbane after that goal, Brisbane weren't in it up until the last 10 minutes, in my opinion. I thought we actually played quite well throughout the game. And then we just let our heads go. And then last 10 minutes, they were all over us. And, yeah, look, they could have even got a winner. They probably should have got a winner. Mind you, though, we should have probably got a winner as well. That last 5 minutes was crazy. I think, forget the Brisbane's keeper's name again. Is it Young? Is it
yeah,
Jamie Young?
Yeah.
Yeah, he pulled off a phenomenal save, and then after that, you know, they nearly went down their right hand side, and they nearly, you know, got all 3 points. But in my opinion, we'll get into this a bit later on. But we are the two worst teams in the competition, in my opinion, Brisbane and Newcastle. That's just my opinion, you know.
Yep.
So, yeah, go on.
Yeah, no, mate, I totally agree with you. It's definitely a game that, as Ben was saying, obviously, performance-wise as a whole, obviously as a 90 minutes, yeah, it probably was our best performance of the season. Obviously, probably other than the good fight back we had in Melbourne in the FFA Cup. You know, like, we look good. Obviously, the team was a lot different then than what it is now, I suppose, which probably doesn't help. But at the same time, I think as well, Alex, I think you're right, is in to say we are probably the two worst sides. The biggest thing that scares me, though, is, now don't quote me on it, as I said, this is only something I've seen in the last 6 hours, but if the rumours are true that Scott McDonald has gone to Brisbane,
yeah, I was saying that this morning,
and he has left Western United for whatever reasons, it's only going to make them stronger. So it really opens things up to virtually say that we need something to happen in the transfer window. And I'm not saying we need to sort of bring anybody in. It'd be nice, but something needs to happen. We need to get our players back. So we need Rio back firing, but he's a good couple of weeks away still, I think. And so forth. So it's one of those things, you know, the Brisbane's getting stronger, even though they are the weaker team one of the weakest teams at the moment, but it looks like we're not going anywhere. You know what I mean? We don't think, or I don't think we're going to bring anybody in. I don't know about you boys, but
in
you
saying
think something
that,
could happen?
I think that will. In saying that, and this has been floated around a bit, and this is a player that I earmarked at the early part of the season that we might be able to bring in should shit hit the fan. With Scotty McDonald, if that transfer does go through to Brisbane Roar, that leaves a very not out of form but out of playing time Dylan Wenzel Hall, who is young, can come in on relatively cheap wage, and would be a decent sort of loan for us in an attacking sort of, like, he's in that Brisbane team as well. He's in the brief cameos that he has had, he has shown that he can do something.
Yep. Yeah. I wouldn't say no. Like, if he came up available, that the other young bloke there who's freaking really good in the, is he the Brit, the
Aaron Amati Holloway.
really good. Is it Holloway? The aerial duelist. He's unbelievable, that young kid. So you got to think as well, obviously, for kids like them, if they're bringing in Scotty McDonald and that, he's not going to leave Western United if he's not getting game time there.
Yeah.
Go sit on the bench up there. So if that deal does go through, surely he needs to be playing football. Your thoughts, Alex? Do we need? Well, do you think we're going to get a transfer, or do you think Ernie's going to?
Well, he needs one. He certainly needs one. We need something to happen. But again, and this is where it's a dodgy area, and I don't like to comment on it too much. It's you can say, oh, we need this play, we need that play, but it's all about what's going on behind the scenes. We don't know what's going on with what's his name, with Lee. I reckon Laurie McKinnon is doing all he can, to try and get this club going. Again, I reckon he's probably one of the best things that's happened to the club in ages. But it's just for the time being, we just need some. I think the main word for me is stability for the club, because we haven't got any at the moment. We're going back to our old ways, and again, that's just my opinion on it all.
Yeah. Look, me personally, as I said, I'm going to try and get in onto Laurie. Obviously, I know he's a very busy man. I can't imagine him not being a busy man at this point, especially with the position that we're in, and obviously the situations that we've been in over the past month or so. But my plan is to obviously get onto him and try and get him to, get say half an hour with him at least and have a chat and just sort of see where we're at, see how everything's going. Obviously, everyone, as I said at the start of the season when when Ben and I sat down with him, there was really no buyers coming in for Lee. Lee virtually has set himself at a minimum of what he wants, and he's not going to take anything less than that. So we're probably, a good couple of months away from that sort of chat we had. So maybe something may have happened in that time that he might be able to share with us and so forth. So that's definitely something I want to speak to him about and, see how everything's going there with the club moving forward. But other than that, Ben, mate, you're any other possible transfers that you can possibly think of? Obviously on the back of the performances that we've had over the last couple of weeks, we've leaked plenty of goals. Unfortunately, we were lucky to see, obviously, the young Irishman get a go, which was about time.
Oh yeah, well overdue.
I think every Jets fan can honestly say that it was about time. He definitely needed his chance. I'd love to know. Who
was that? Sorry.
Bobby Burns.
Bobby.
Oh, Bobby Burns. Yeah.
Finally getting his go. And obviously, I'd love to know Ernie's thoughts on obviously why he let him come off in the 70th minute or so, because he looked fit and he looked good. And I'm pretty sure, I think it was you, Alex. I think I might have seen say something about it as well. If you're winning, you don't change your back line. As far as I'm concerned, I'm no professional coach. Like as I said, I've done a very brief little bit of coaching in my time, but if I'm winning a game and we haven't conceded a goal, I'm not changing my back line.
No.
Unless they're friggin' cannot physically move or whatever, and they're literally about to pass out, mate, you stay on that pitch.
I'd just like to say a very quick welcome to in the chat. We have a Tony, a Bowden, and we have a Chris Russell.
How are we, lads?
Chris says, aren't we under our cap, or was that speculation? I dare say that we've done our minimum 80% of the cap.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Alex, your thoughts on that one, mate? I'll let you answer that one.
Again, sticky area. Don't know. Look, again, it's not for me. I'm here to comment on the players that we've got currently, you know.
Yep.
And again, it goes back to my comment. We could say, oh, we can bring in this player, we can go in that. I'm here as a fan, sitting down, watching the games, judging how 16 professional footballers, or how many we select on game day, you know, go about their business when we sit down and watch them play on match day.
Mm-hmm.
And in my eyes, doesn't matter who we've got. They're all paid professional footballers. We're not doing good enough. You know, again, the cap in my eyes, it doesn't faze me, because it is what it is. You know, obviously we don't have the best squad in the league. Obviously we don't have the marquee players. All right. For me, you're just going to move on from it. Like, again, you can talk about money all you want. And I know this league is all funded around money. You look at I think I mentioned this last week in your podcast. You look at advertisements online, it's all NRL, it's all AFL, and then when they do promote the A League, all the adverts are all related to around Sydney FC and Melbourne Victory, you know, and Melbourne City, you know. Yep. So for me, we are a small club, probably us and the Mariners are the smallest two clubs, and Wellington in this league. But then it's to go. So it's basically just moving on from that status, you know.
Yeah. No, that's I'd agree with that. I'd also probably go into it as well, saying that, like, we've got to sort of, or as you said, you know, we've got to take money out of it. You know what I mean? Everyone's got the same. There's no real, you know, he's got more than I have, so that's why they've got a better squad. You know, everyone somewhat has the same money. Yes, there are those little bits of funds where the FFA will chip in or whatever, like your Hondas and stuff like that. Yeah. But at the same time, in my opinion, I think it's not so much the club. I'm not blaming anyone. I'm not blaming Laurie or anyone like that. I'm just
no.
It's got to appeal. It's got to appeal to a player. You know what I mean? Like a player's not going to sign if he's not happy. If he's got a family or whatever and 2 kids and shit like that, and he feels that, look, it's not for me. You know what I mean? It's the town's not big enough, or it's not. I'm not comfortable. You know what I mean? Like, obviously the town's got to sell as well. So maybe, are we not giving enough to the Jets? Or I don't know. Your thoughts, Ben?
I think Newcastle as a club are very good at selling the town. You don't really hear a thing about, you know, a Jets player being unsettled in their environment. They all come and say, well, we love it, you know. It's right on the beach. What you know, up there in Merriweather, you give them a nice fancy house overlooking the beach. What's not to love about it?
Correct,
100%. But at the same time,
as a club, though,
it's got to be.
We do things a lot differently than, say, the big six. You know, we do have a very small staffing structure as compared to other clubs. You know, we run like as much as we run out of the university, we've got our own home base. There's I read somewhere as well that we've just lost our sporting and conditioning coach as well. I read that the other day. He's gone to move on to a different code or something.
He's gone to the military, I think.
Yeah, military. That's it. He's gone to the Defence Force. Which is good. I mean, it sort of goes the both ways in staffing and in players. If there's nothing there to push them or challenge them, they will move on to pastures new to find something that will challenge them.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. And, you know, as you said, the big six and so forth. Obviously, Western Sydney's just come in and built their new friggin' facilities and everything else. Like, again, like, it's been a long time since I've sort of gone in and had a look at and seen what their facilities are like, but I definitely can't imagine that our facilities being, you know, top draw. I don't know about, obviously, if you've seen them, Alex. Like, I know the Knights use, obviously, West's.
The Jets train at the university.
Yeah,
correct.
Ray Watt Oval.
Ray Watt's, exactly.
Which is a friggin' nice pitch.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, the
it's a
pitch
really good
itself.
surface. What they use regarding, like, other stuff.
Equipment. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it's nothing like what you see over in Europe. Like what you see in Europe is the players get there early in the morning. They all go for their medicals, then they train, and then they all come back in, and then there's a cafeteria and there's lunch and there's all sorts.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's nothing. Look again, it's nothing like that, but
No.
it shouldn't be. Like I'm not saying it should be.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the standard of what it is in Europe is what it should be over here.
The standard of the A League's not good enough to have that sort of thing. You know what I mean? You don't want to give these guys massive royalties.
It could be. It's just not promoted as what it should be.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it could be.
Yeah.
It could be at that level.
Yeah.
Anything could be at that level. You look at the MLS. You look where the MLS have come from.
Hmm.
Yep.
And you and where like all these youth players, where do they want to go out on loan? They want to go and play out there. The MLS, the MLS is just going from strength to strength to strength. And again, I just look from the A League's perspective. Again, I'm not saying it should change every. We shouldn't be going from 100 to 1 million just like that. But we need to be taking it step by step. And I think how long is it now? Nearly 15 years of the A League. And can anybody honestly say that this competition is improved vastly? You know what I mean?
Not vastly, I wouldn't say.
Well, improved. Even improved.
I dare say that it has improved, but yeah, I suppose you got to look at it very much from a club by club basis. Every club's different. I mean, you look at the Mariners 15 years ago as to compared to what they are now. In every level, not just players and playing staff and coaching and whatever, but facilities as a team. What do they call it? Central Coast Stadium as itself looks like it's falling down. The last time I went there, there's like all tiles falling off it, and it just looks a bit rubbish. I mean, but again, every team's going to have their ups and downs.
Oh, 100%. No, I said this to you last week. Like as a coach myself, as a youth coach, I think that the standard of youth players has absolutely flown. Like it's brilliant. I look at some players this year and I go, wow. Especially in the Newcastle area. I just think it's brilliant. But then I look onto the A League and I just think, well, come on, can we just really give it another good push and rev it up? And just each year, I'll just look at it. I just think, can we improve on it? But yeah, look, that's just my opinion. Is it me just being European, and just talk and saying I'm wanting everything to be absolutely fantastic. I just think we can definitely improve what we've got. But I think under McKenna, I think he is doing wonders for the club. Like I reckon he's definitely the right person to take us where we want to go. Because the number one thing that McKenna does is he listens.
Yep.
He listens, and as soon as you listen to what the fans want, again, you can't please everybody in the world, but as soon as you listen and you gauge to what they want, look, it is going to take time, but I think McKenna is the right person for the CEO job. I reckon he's doing brilliant. But yeah, look, obviously things need work. But yeah, look, that's just I'm only laughing because of some comments that have been made over the last few weeks about player performances. But yeah, it's funny as it's all good.
Oh, look, and that's it. I mean, you watch some of the fans and all that. You lose one game, obviously you start to crack the shits. You lose two games, people start to really fucking, attacking and everything else, and then three, and you know what I mean. Like we get it. As I said, like if anyone gets it, it's obviously the Jets. Faithful, obviously, who've somewhat been there since day one. It's normal. You know what I mean? We aren't a massive successful club, and it's a given. The lack of obviously, spotlight obviously in the finals and everything else proves that. But the seasons that we've had in there have always been good. They've been very strong seasons. Merrick, whatever it was, 2 seasons ago, whatever it was a good season. No one expected us to be there. We'd come from wooden spooners to get where we did. In my opinion, we had the right squad, the right players, which was great. Even with the boot leaving, even midway through it, I still think we had the depth to sort of challenge for the friggin' title. It's obviously you watch some seasons and that where it just hasn't been the right players, and you've seen that sort of from day one. You know what I mean? Even from preseason. When you look at someone like who we were talking about the other day, Benny, the Austrian or whatever. No, Coco. We're talking about Coco. Came in or whatever it was, and he was talking about breaking Tim Cahill's. Beating
Coco.
his, just walks in or whatever and goes, I'll score more goals than Tim Cahill, and it was a flop. You know what I mean? Like, so we've had our fair shares of them, your Marios and so forth, but I don't know. I'm happy where we are. You know what I mean? I'd rather go have be that sort of yo-yo club than obviously that someone like your Sydney FC or Melbourne Victory per se, and obviously have success, and then you look at Victory now where they're struggling.
Oh,
but
mate,
you know that it's not going to be.
that
it's not going to be a 2-3.
Their supporters have been asking for frigging Kurtz's head for weeks, and that's the thing. You always are. If you're always competitive and you're always accustomed to winning, you stamp your foot like a toddler who doesn't get an ice cream when it doesn't happen.
Yeah, but look, they're having a shit season or whatever it is. It may not end up that way come the end of the season. But again, next season it's not going to be the same season.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
And that's the problem. And it can be said for just about any other league in the world. You change a manager, especially after having like Kevin Muscat at the helm for 7 years or something. You bring in anybody, even anybody that worked under Muscat that took that job to push the club on. It is going to take time.
Yeah, 100%. It's no different. Like, I hate Manchester United, but when you take away someone like Sir Alex Ferguson, like, you can't expect miracles.
Let's not talk about English football while Alex is here, please.
What are you on about, Benny, mate? You nearly had him frigging on the weekend.
Oh, we always play well against Leeds, except that last time.
No, I'm not bringing up the L word.
All right, you don't bring up the L word, and I won't bring up the B word.
What's the B word?
Birmingham City, mate.
Oh, look, that was a crazy game. 5-4. Bloody hell, fire.
Anyway,
GSC stuff. But yeah, anyway, we'll anyone in the chat obviously got any topics, anything like that? Obviously, we will quickly we'll dissect into the Victory game this week as well. But as I said, the whole idea of this sort of thing, we know it's a bit late. Unfortunately, Alex is a bit occupied tomorrow, and obviously I'm coming home and so forth. So we were going to try and do it tomorrow night, but hasn't fallen through that way. But yeah, as I said, guys, friggin' feel free to obviously put any topics or anything like you want to chat about. We still haven't really discussed an away day tour of duty. There hasn't been anything like that on, Facebook or anything like with the NCL and Terrace Novacastra, Jet supporters pages or any shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
So anyone who's got a thought about where they want to do that sort of shit. Personally, Adelaide, Brisbane, 2 good options. But yeah, friggin' feel free to have a topic. I think Chris has said something as well.
Yeah, he says when will Wes be back and Arroyo.
Yeah, so obviously Arroyo's probably about 2 to 3 weeks away at best. So what's that friggin'? That'll probably put him at the end of Jan. And then Wes is apparently running. Don't quote me on how far he's running, but
he's on the anti-gravity trainer.
The whole idea is, I think Laurie was sort of saying that if they can get him back for the Coast game, which I believe is in early Feb, that would be really, really good. But I honestly cannot see him pushing himself. So there is a high chance in that we will not see him this season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the biggest thing is, obviously, we've seen a lot of people ask for it. When's Wes back? When's he coming back? He's missed a lot of football at a very, in the latter stages of his career, and that where he was virtually, had sort of come out and said to Laurie and that from the conversation you and I had with him that this was it. This was his last hurrah. You thought he'd come out and try something different before he hung up the boots. So who knows? We may not even see him back.
May not see him in the Jets. We may not see him in a Jets jersey.
That's it. You know, we can't rely on Wes.
He may never play in the A League.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's
Well, I
it's a
suppose
shame.
we'll always get to see him in a Jet shirt because he did do the promotional photos and we launched our new kits, and that's about as close as we'll get.
We'll have the promotional photos to look back on.
Yep.
No,
Friggin'. But at the same time, though, like as I think Laurie was saying as well, like he's been injured, so it's not we haven't been paying his wages per se. That was the other big thing I was sort of when I was talking to you about it. Like, up until a certain point, the Jets were, but once they sort of friggin' done all the shit they needed to and got all the medical stuff out and worked out everything else, the Jets weren't paying anything.
No, it comes
anymore.
under insurance.
You know what I mean? So it's all under insurance and everything now. So he'd be getting a X amount of wage off that, and so it's not like the Jets are out of pocket.
It's probably getting somewhere in the realms of about 70%.
Correct. Which is a freaking night. I wouldn't mind a bit of 70%. I'd take 50% of what we were freaking offering.
Well, he is under the cap, so it wouldn't be that much.
Very true. Very true. So yeah, bloody. What was I going to say? There was something. Oh, friggin'. Alex may know a little bit more about this only because I haven't really had a good look on the social media, and Alex is all over that shit. Being as one of the admins, but I do believe is it this weekend, mate? I did see somewhere Paris Novacastra in that we're looking at donating like $1
Bushfire
something
appeal.
of every bushfire appeal for everyone in the fan, everyone who gets into Bay 1 or whatever it is.
I think that's I think that's
was it next week?
I think it's the next home game.
Next home game.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll get it up. I had a little read of it, but I couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, right.
Yeah, it's next week against Sydney FC. We'll donate $1 for every person in the active support. We will multiply it for every goal we score. So basically, if they get 2 goals against Sydney FC, which is friggin' unlikely, but anyway, they'll times it. They'll times 2 by whatever they get. So look again, brilliant thing that they're organised. Absolutely brilliant. Maybe they could have done it. I'll say, look again, brilliant idea. They're really trying to get the boys that are there, Vandy, Paul Turner, Adam Martin. They really are giving it a good go. Like they really are giving it a good go, and good on them for getting that active support going. For whatever reason, it over the years it just hasn't gone right in there. I know a lot of people have opinions on it. Again, it's a heated argument to what's going on. You've got your old squadron, you've got your champness chaps, them old boys that were there. But look, again, good on him for doing it. I just for that, I just wish it wasn't against Sydney. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because again, it'd be like that, but again, it would be like that. Like say if they played someone, if they did last week against Brisbane, and the players knew about it. If players know about this, they'll freaking go hard on it. Like McKenna will tell them what's going on. And then they'll just go on. But again, very very good that they're doing that. Again, $1 for every person that's in that active away end. But we'll get into it later on. Can we see us getting 2 goals against Sydney though? The way that they're in and the way that we're in. But good on for doing that.
No, look, absolutely. We'll obviously I might speak to Paul and so obviously through the week and get them on next week's show before the game and so forth. And who knows? As I said, they've still got a week. They may freaking come up with some more ideas, or Laurie might have a plan up his sleeve to maybe get a few more bucks in there and so forth. But yeah, no. Look, at the end of the day, as you said, they're doing the right thing. They're going the right way.
Of course they are. Yeah, brilliant.
You know what I mean? We've had shambles, like as I said, we've had. Speaking of James last week and so forth, obviously, I can remember early seasons, from first 5 seasons, we'll say, and it was rocking. It was the place to be. You were excited. Everyone would friggin' rock up at the tennis club and so forth before games and get on the beers. Everyone knew everybody and so forth, and everyone was a family. And you get over there and you cheer them home no matter what. You get flogged, so be it. You'd rock up next week and we go again. As you said, for whatever reason, it hasn't sort of gone that way the last few seasons, and yeah, who knows? Vandenberg and Co might have some ideas, and obviously, as you said, Laurie's definitely the one to lead us forward. I'm totally with you there, mate. 100% agree.
Yeah, I am too.
You know, he's been around the traps a long time, mate. I'm sure he's got some ideas to try and boost the numbers and so forth. Mate, might have to get a freaking what do they call it, a floss off or something with Griffo. Get Griffo in there with the old floss off. Get all the young get all the young kids in there and freaking compete against Griffo. He'd love that, I reckon. Griffo with a few beers in.
All right, on the agenda next, Joshy.
Yes, mate. What we got here? Alex was okay. Right, yeah, mate. We'll move forward. Obviously, we'll go into the victory game. What do we got? 6:30 kickoff Sunday Arvo, Amy Park. Oh, far out! Finally get to go watch a game without having to travel friggin' up to Newcastle to do so. Benny, you'll be there with me. Yes,
of course.
Absolutely. I think Super Deal's going to be down for everyone who knows Super Deal.
Fortunately, he can't Uber us home.
Oh yeah, no Uber lift. What a dog. But obviously, away days are always good with friggin' Super Deal. Super Deal makes away days eventful.
And he loves the Melbourne ones.
He does love a Melbourne away. Vandy will be down, obviously, and whoever else is coming to the game and so forth, feel free to pop in. We will we'll post something up probably on Sunday and so forth when we've decided sort of where we're going and whatever. Possibly the Mitre or obviously the Royal's another good one for all the guys. Who knows the Royal? We'll leave it at that. And yeah, obviously, hopefully a good result. What do you reckon, Benny, mate? What do you reckon? Can we turn it around? I'm not expecting miracles. I'm not expecting a 3-0 win, but could we get lucky?
I think from what I read today that Ernie is named an unchanged travelling squad.
Yep.
As for what I can see possibly coming out of that lineup, I'm not. I'm very pessimistic.
Oh, that's a special word.
Normally I'm highly optimistic, but I think it's just starting to wane on me now. I mean, I'll sit there and don't get me wrong, back the boys 150% all the way. If it happens, it happens. If it don't, losing games don't tend to faze me nowadays.
Yeah, fickle. Alex, mate, what are your thoughts, mate?
Yeah, look, not confident.
Yeah.
Not confident at all.
Yeah.
I just their last game. They haven't lost in about a month now. You know, they're in really good form. Their last game, they beat Melbourne City, and City were the home team. You know, so they've just come off a derby win. They're really starting to get their act together now. That they had a really slow start. But they're sort of getting their act together now, as I knew they would be. Like they'll be in the top 6 no matter what. Like they will get there, whether it's second, third, or sixth, they will get there because it's Melbourne Victory. I think they've made it every year or something. Or there's only one season that they've never made the 6, so they'll definitely be up there at the end of the season. So I definitely class them as a good side. But look, as for results wise, I'm not confident at all. Well, I've got no reason to be confident. But in a way, that's sort of good for me now because I don't expect, go into this game winning. I didn't expect to go into Brisbane winning the game, to be honest. I expect us now to win to lose or certainly draw games rather than win them. Apart from probably, maybe Mariners. But am I confident? No. But is it a good thing? Probably, yeah, because then if we do get something out of the game, I'd take a point right now, 100%.
Yep.
I'd take, if someone said, "Oh, look, you got a point there," I'll, bloody go with 2 hands and run, But look, I think it's either going to be one of these games. I reckon we're going to go down there and we're going to get beat 4-0, or we could go down there and we could even, nick a 1-0 win. You know, we played Western United earlier on in the season, and yeah, we were lucky, but we did a job. Lockie Jackson, absolutely unreal that night. So was Moss. You know, brilliant. You know, it's we have to go down. I think I read a stat the other day. I couldn't remember where it was from, but we have in every game this season, bar one, we have had less possession. So what we've got to do, and you know, there's going to be no way in the world that we're going to have more possession than Melbourne, other than if Melbourne, you know, have an early send off or whatever. Because with VAR these days, anything's possible. You know, so anyone can get sent off. But I think if we go down there, we just absolutely give it to him first 15 minutes, nick a goal, and then just shut up shop. You know, we need to go down there. They know that we're going to go down there and just park it. And if everybody does their jobs right, then we'll win, then we could potentially win the game. But there's just silly errors this season that have just cost us. You know, I look at all these goals that we can see and just thinking, you know, they're so preventable. You know,
Yeah.
like last week's goal against Brisbane. But again, we just got to keep on plodding away, keep getting on, and if we go down there and they all play well, it could either be a 0-0, we could win it 1-0. But if we just don't go down there with our heads switched on, it's going to get ugly, like big time ugly. You know, you're like for me, when I think of A League, I think Melbourne Victory are the big guns in the league, like the big guns, followed by Sydney. Like I always class Melbourne as a bigger club than Sydney. You know, over the years, probably Sydney have come back in. But when I was growing up as a boy, you know, Melbourne Victory was that massive gun team. And if they take a hold, and they have great support down there, if they take a hold, it could get really ugly for us. But again, we'll go down there not expecting much. But if we can nick something out of it, then brilliant. But I think we just need to get some points on the board. We just do. Because they just need to get, the confidence just needs to lift. We need something to get going for us. We haven't had anything go our way. We've had injuries coming out. Again, a lot of people say, "Oh, you don't support him." I do support him. It's just, it's just stupid errors that cost us. You know, just stupid, you know, predictions. Well, yeah, people go, "Oh, yeah, look, your predictors are going to lose. You're not a supporter." Again, at the end of the day, if you think we're gonna go down in the game, you know, you must be kidding, sure, you know.
Yeah, look, that's it. It's hard. It's been hard to watch, obviously, the last couple of weeks and so forth. But at the same time, I said, you're right. We could go down there, and if we don't play, if we play terrible, well, the scoreline will be terrible, and we will get belted. And we don't want that. I think I'm sort of at the point now where I just want good results, like not on the scoreboard, like just as a whole, as a team.
Yeah.
I want a good performance. I mean, we showed it for 80 minutes last week pretty well. You know what I mean? Until obviously we sort of let them back in the last 10. I just want a whole performance. 90 minutes, just give it and score more goals. Like if we come out of this and we get beat 4-2 or 4-3, so be it. You know what I mean? But at least we're scoring goals. It's one thing we're lacking at the moment. We're not scoring enough goals. It's no disregard to Hoffy, because I don't feel that he should be sort of in that position to try and bury goals the way he does. You know what I mean? Like balls come into him or whatever it is, and he feel fluff it or miss it or whatever. It's not his job. You know what I mean? He shouldn't be there to hit balls like that. He's not a striker.
Can I add something onto that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, so we've played 10 games this season, right? In 9 of them, we've scored. So we've scored in 9 out of the 10 games this year.
Yep.
So all that says to me is, right, if we can just get 1 or 2 a game, which we kind of are doing, if we're scoring goals. We played 10 games, we scored 1. We scored in every game bar 1. Yep. If we can just sort the back line out, then job's a good one. Job. It's just, and again, you go down. I reflect back to the Western United game. We scored 1 goal and we defended absolutely brilliantly. We slogged everyone slogged it. Yep. Was it pretty? No. But again, we're not the pretty football teams. We're not Sydney FCs. We're not Melbourne Victories. We need to just go down there and flog it out, like what Mariners can do, like what Wellington have been doing over the last few weeks. Again, you look at Wellington. No way in the world should they probably be in the top six. Again, no disrespect to Wellington, but they shouldn't be where they are, but they are because they're doing a job. You know, I look
That's
back
it.
on results. You know, the last 3 weeks they've beaten Western United away. They've had a 2-2 draw with Sydney, and they've had a 0-0 draw with Melbourne Victory. And then prior to that, they beat Western Sydney, and then I'm looking back again. They've beaten Adelaide away. They've beaten
Yep.
Brisbane at home. Wow, Jesus, they haven't lost a game. Far they haven't lost in 7. Wellington. So I look at theirs. I look at their side, right, and then I look at our side and thinking, well, if they can go 7 undefeated, why can't we just string together a couple of results? You know, because at the end of the day, Wellington, again, no disrespect to them, but they shouldn't be where they are. You know, but they do that because they do that because they've got the players. We've probably actually even got a better squad than Wellington, but because they know what they're doing and they go out there with a team plan, you know, and it might be park the bus and then get them on the break.
Yeah, they dig right in.
They do. They grind out results. You know, Central Coast this season have been grinding out results. They go into those games knowing that they're not going to get a lot out of it, but if they just keep grinding and grinding in games, they're gonna get results, you know. And in my opinion, they'll make top 6. Wellington, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely.
There.
Yeah, I think they'll just squeeze in there.
Look, to be brutally honest, I look at it at the fact of 70% of our squad at the moment played in that grand final 3 years ago. So it's not that they're not capable of being able to match it with the big boys. They've shown on that occasion that they most definitely can.
Mm-hmm.
It's just something else is not going to plan. I don't know what, and I'm not even going to even begin to speculate because that wouldn't be fair. Obviously, there's a lot of confidence issues player-wise, I would assume. You know, nobody likes to get smacked, concede 10 goals in 2 games. But you know, the lads are capable of a lot more than what they've been showing us over the prior weeks. Have we been a bit unlucky? Yeah, in games here and there. Yes. Have we made silly little mistakes? Yes, just about in every game. But you know, you knock those nails on the head. They'll knock the nail on the head at some point during this season, and we'll go on a flying run. It always happens. Will it be enough? We don't know. But the lads just need to pick the socks up.
You look at the next 3 games though, and you think to yourself, well, it's not gonna happen in the next 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Victory away, Sydney at home, Melbourne City away.
Yeah, all difficult games.
And then Wellington away.
Yeah, all difficult games.
So we've got three out of our next 4 games are away from home.
Yeah, I think it's a confident. I think and I've said it about Fitzy over the past couple of weeks. The minute that lad gets a goal in him, that's it. He's off and running. His confidence is so way down after being given the arse by Western Sydney.
We do create chances. We do create chances in games. It's just we don't finish them, and we're not good enough to hold them out at the other end. You know, if I can sum up the Jets in a few sentences, we create chances which we don't take, but then we let ourselves down again up the other end by switching off for a second or two, you know, and conceding stupid goals. I mean, I went to the Melbourne City game when we had the Teddy toss the other week, and I only went because I had Teddy's to throw on. Like I wasn't really, keen on going, and. This, I believe it was Melbourne City's second goal or their third goal. I'm fairly sure it was their second goal. You know, the smallest player on the pitch, I can't remember his name. I think it's like Luna or something like that.
Yeah.
For Melbourne City, scored a header from a cross that got put back in. There was no marking from Jackson or Topper Stanley. I'm just looking at it thinking, if that's like a first grade NPL team over here, they'll get absolutely railed off it. You know, like just stupid errors that we concede. Really, and again, I support them all the way, but when I see stuff like that, it makes me fume. You know.
Yeah.
So
and that's it. It's been hard to watch.
Silly errors, mate. Silly errors.
Then that's it. It's silly errors, which as you said previously, like they're professional athletes. These guys are earning good money.
Yep.
And you know what I mean? And when they make silly mistakes that, you watch NPL blokes do, or not even, you don't even watch these NPL blokes sort of make that mistake. You go, well, seriously?
Yeah.
How aren't these guys getting a go?
Yep.
You know what I mean? I've been, going to watch friggin', whoever, friggin' Broadmeadow Magic, Hamilton Limerick, whatever, for X amount of games or whatever, X amount of years or whatever it is. And this bloke's been playing for us for X amount of years, and I've never seen him make one mistake yet. Why isn't he getting a go? So, and that's what it is. It's just little shit errors that, in my opinion, they shouldn't be making.
No.
Simple balls through the middle of the pitch, and just with no pace on it, and not making the player.
Or as we've seen recently, a lot of balls being put forward that end up behind the running player.
Oh, that irritates the shit out of me.
I know it does.
That shits me up. Again, as a forward, and like a player who still plays, relatively forward on a Sunday or whatever. Yeah, there's nothing worse than getting the ball played behind you and having to go back to pick it up.
Yep, and as a defender who's played in the exact same team as you, I know how frustrated you get.
Exactly. You've witnessed it firsthand. I'll lose it. It just irritates me. I'm like, what am I meant to do with that? I've now got to go back, pick it up, and then friggin' start again, play it back, or friggin'
and that costs
play it to someone else.
And that costs time in a side at the moment where we tend to be quite actively counter-attacking. A ball like that where an attacking player or a midfielder has to turn back and move their body position to retrieve that ball costs valuable seconds.
Yeah, and we've watched Arroyo do it week in, week out when he was fit and he was playing, constantly having to come backwards to pick up shit.
Yeah, getting frustrated as a striker, having to come back and work into the play
because he wasn't getting it to his feet or in front of him where it should be.
Yeah,
I remember. What did Laurie say from the first interview we done with him? Once we signed him, we had a chat with him, and he was saying that they had a trial match in Sydney or whatever it was. And he was sitting there with the Sydney CEO or whatever it was, and he was saying, "You watch this bloke, friggin', ball over the top, and he's gone."
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You put a ball over the top in front of him, and he's gone. Like his pace, he will beat them every time, 9 out of 10.
Yeah,
we haven't seen it once.
Yep.
You know what I mean? There has never been really anything in front of him to chase down. And when your CEO is sort of saying that from day dot, and it hasn't worked its way to the training pitch, sort of...
You ask questions.
Like, come on.
Like, the only another refreshing thing I like to see in the squad as well is, I know I harped on about it previously, and I'm not a lover of the player, but anyway, Nick Fitzgerald. It's nice to see somebody wearing a Newcastle shirt that's not afraid to go and run at a defender.
Yeah, well...
And try his luck.
That's true.
It's something that the Jets have been missing for years. That player that just goes, you know what, screw it. I'm going to take him on and I'm going to beat him.
Yeah.
The Jets have always been the side of, oh no, we'll just pass around it. Or we'll go more inside. We'll go in towards the centre of the pitch. It's refreshing to see that we're taking a risk on a player like that.
Yeah. Yeah, look, there's a lot of things, as I said, there's a lot of things that, we're not doing right and things that definitely need to change. The back line for me is shambles. And the biggest thing is that, like, it doesn't happen every week, which annoys me.
Yeah, it's so hot. It's so hot and cold.
If it happened every week, it'd make things so much easier and just go, right, you out.
Yeah.
Gone. See you later. But they'll have one shit game and then they work up the next week knowing that they've had a shit game and going, I've got to do something to improve myself. And they do.
Johnny Katrubis.
And then someone else will have a shit game because that person's played all right. Like,
yeah.
It just infuriates me. I'm just like, seriously, come on. Why can't we just play decent football week in, week out?
Yeah, why can't the 4-years get your act together and just go, right, we're all going to play well today?
Yeah, Topper has been solid. I don't think he's made too many mistakes, personally.
He's had to do a lot of extra work while Bogart's been out.
Yeah, look, 100%. Again, you bring it back to it. He's a professional athlete. If you don't like it, retire.
Yeah.
You know, like, and he's still good enough to do the job that he's been given. It's just unfortunate that what else is in the back line, I don't think is 100% up to scratch. And we've seen it with obviously Calburn.
Yeah.
Get in the arse. You know what I mean? Like they felt that he wasn't up to scratch. See you later. Do I think that he should have been one to go? Look, maybe. He wasn't that crash hot. But do I think he was the only one that should have gone? Absolutely not. I think there's definitely a couple of players in there that probably should have gone as well.
Yep.
And that's no disrespect to them on the odd occasion having a decent game and so forth. But you want fullbacks that are going to bust their ass week in, week out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like your
And fullbacks
you know,
that don't come off after 70 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Well, that's another point as well. Well, yeah, at least he's hoping Bobby starts. You know what I mean? He's hoping Bobby starts.
He's got to.
If he doesn't retain, he put a couple of good balls in. He put a couple of shit ones in too, but we won't go down there. But
that's part and parcel.
As I said to Laurie, I was having a chat with him when he sort of said he's been announced. And I said he's hoping that, you know, no one's expecting massive things from him for this first 90 minutes, which I thought he was going to get. He didn't get that. Because, you know, it's all right to friggin' train with them week in, week out, but when you haven't played a decent amount of football at that level, you can't expect miracles.
No, of course.
It's gonna take him a little bit of time, and he's hoping he gets it. If he stays fit for the rest of the season, I expect him to start every week.
Oh, I'd agree.
But why is that time? Why is that time come up to, you know, round 12?
We don't, and that's the biggest thing. I don't know. Look, it's interesting. I'd love to, again, something else I wouldn't mind sitting down with Laurie.
All I'll say is he's played 72 minutes and we haven't conceded a goal when he's been on.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it.
Again, it's funny. It's funny, you know. It's funny saying that, but
no, you're right.
It is what it is. You know, we conceded 10 goals, like you said, Ben, in 2 games. We nearly played one whole game there. Didn't concede a goal. And not concede a goal. What they did well, Brisbane couldn't get through the back line. So after about 30, 40 minutes, what they started doing was going, well, we can't get through this back line. We're going to start doing long shots. And Glenn Moss was going, oh, well, thank you very much. And they did not look like scoring at all up until the last 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
Correct.
And even then, it was a long shot that Brisbane scored off. You know.
Yeah, you got to say it though. Inman's goal against us, that's a freak goal.
Yeah.
It was a freak goal.
But at the same time, it's a goal that probably shouldn't have happened. I mean, they shouldn't have had that opportunity to have that time and.
Why?
So why
Yeah.
But as I said, once it's left his foot, 100%. Great goal. You know what I mean? Like, so be it. But it shouldn't have left his foot. And
would you guys personally stick with the same lineup for Sunday?
Yes.
No one got injured, did they?
Nope.
Not that I'm aware of.
Nope. No, everyone's travelled, everyone's sweet, everything's good. 100%.
I'd be going again.
Change anything. Yeah, how do you change it? I'd be amazed if you changed anything.
Yeah, and if you do change it, what do you change it with?
Changes now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you watch him. You freaking probably listen to it.
I'm gonna give Italiano around this week.
Yeah, that's it. Why not? Yeah, look.
Well, out of all the players to give a fair ground this week, I tell you what, Italiano would be the least of my worries.
Well, yeah, exactly right. Friggin' if he miraculously came in for Mossy, I wouldn't. Holy shit, we're in big trouble here.
Yeah, I would for a lot of other players.
Mossy's had a couple of good games and so forth this season, but he's been no rock.
Yeah, agreed.
He's made plenty of mistakes. But at the same time, it's look, you know,
it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Like, do you go with the same team, and if you don't, who do you change? And would you be comfortable in making those changes and say, yes, that is a better starting 11. I don't
The
see
only
that.
the only change that I would maybe make, and again, I love this bloke to death. I reckon he's one of our best players in our team. But I do agree with some people that Fergate should start on the bench and then come on because he makes more of an impact.
Agreed.
And then replace him with Shepherd.
Agreed.
So Shepherd to start.
Yep.
Because
Yeah,
you look at a player like Shepherd and Hoffman. If we're playing Melbourne Victory and we're just we're just ramming the ball forward, you want two big boys up there trying to just hold possession of the game.
Yeah.
And then last 30 minutes, the Victory, if it's still 0-0, Victory getting a big eager, that's when you put on Fergate.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Bring the
But
pace.
They'll underestimate him.
Having said that, if Fergate did start this week, I wouldn't complain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, but no, it's a good point. It's a good point. Yeah, look, as you said, it's a hard one. And obviously, in my opinion, I wouldn't be changing nothing. They looked good, as we said, they looked good for friggin' 80. They didn't look fantastic, but it was a good performance with what we've got. But yeah, so anything you guys have got to add or anything like that, or before we sort of start winding it down?
No, I'm pretty well sorted.
Yeah, so as I said, guys, be sure to if you are coming down, or if anyone's listening to this who is in Melbourne, feel free to come around, say good day, come have a few beers and have a bit of a laugh and sing song and whatever. We'll be at the Mitre, or as I said, the Royal, from probably about 1:30 on. So we'll whack it on the social on. Speak to Alex and he can plug it on there for us, I'm sure, being one of the admins, and let everyone know where we're sort of at. And yeah, as I said, come down, support the guys. We don't expect much, but at the end of the day, friggin' fans support their team no matter what you do.
Exactly, and I think that's what I think that is what a lot of people miss. I'd actually personally like supporting clubs like the Jets and clubs like Leeds, clubs that aren't, the best. Well, they're not the best teams in the world, but they can go out there and bring an upset. You look at the Jets a couple of years ago. No one expected us to be expect to do what we did, and that was make the grand final. And it's like what you said again before, Ben. We have those majority of those players are still in the squad. So I'm looking at it like, can we just pull off something again this weekend?
Yeah.
And then again, Leeds, he is open again. Bloody, he is open. Friggin' hell. If we stuff it up again this year, I'll have a fit. But if we can get back into the Premier League again, we just take our time and work our way up. Just avoid the drop. Something like that. If Leeds went up, we finished 17th the year after that in the Premier League. Perfect. Stay up, regroup, go again. I don't want to be like the Man Cities where you're going out there expecting to win every week, because it making me go to a football match and sometimes not being favourites. It doesn't feel enjoyable, because you're expecting to win, and then when you do lose, it's like, wow. But if you go to games expecting lose, and again, it could be like the Jets this week to go out there and pull off a bizarre result. Brilliant. But again, I just really hope if we lose, if we come off the game, lose 1-0 or 2-0. And all the players have played well, fair enough.
Yeah.
All I want to see is just something change, like you said, Josh. Just something change. Something can change. They can pull a result together. Well, listen, if something changes, the results will come naturally.
Yeah.
In my opinion, the results will come naturally. But at the moment, we're just in, and then typical Newcastle, we're just in one of those positions again. We're just stuck to the bottom of the league. But again, because the A League's so tight and it's so congested, and 6 teams can end up making finals, all of a sudden, and like I said, our 4 next games are very hard. If we can pick up something like 7 points from our next 4 games, and then we come into the later back end of the season and then pick off results against Brisbane and Mariners and Western Sydney, you never know. They could. It would be just like the Jets to come in now and finish 5th. It just would be like. Because that's what the Jets are like.
Yeah.
But we need if we're going to make finals now, we've made it hard on ourselves. We really need to just pluck out some results from these next upcoming games. Do I think we're going to make it? No, but can we make it off like Can we make it? Yes, but do I think we're going to do it? No. But it's two differently mentioned things, But
Yeah.
it is what it is. Again, I'm really focused about results. I just want to go down there, and if they play well, then I'll be happy. But it's just silly little areas that I've just been frustrated with the whole of the season. And again, Perth away, stuff like that is just not acceptable. As a professional team, no matter who Perth have got as players and who the Jets have got as players, they're all professional footballers. You should not be losing a game by 6 goals, well, 6-2 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And again, it goes back to what I was saying before. If we tightened up on defence, we would have won that game.
Yeah, we just lost our heads.
We get chances. We get chances in every game. We get chances in every game to win games. The style of football that Merrick plays sometimes it works. It does work. Do I agree on every decision he makes? No. But the style of football that he can implement into a squad works because we get chances, but the style of football defensively sometimes it doesn't work. So attackingly, again, I don't think we're too bad, but defensively, that's where they're sticking together, and that's why I was fuming last week. When you're 1-0 up and you bringing off a defender in a game where you really need to be getting 3 points, blown away, 2 goals.
Yeah.
So 2 points. Sorry.
Yeah. No,
But
that's exactly it. Yeah. No, I totally agree with you, mate. As I said, the biggest thing is, we understand. As I said, as fans, we all support. As I said, the Jets. We all support, your lower league, championship teams, and obviously Scottish and whatever the team may be.
Yeah.
You're not going to win every week. You're not going to win every season. You know what I mean? Like, you support the club because, I support clubs because of foundation. You know what I mean? And obviously the club, it's the background of the club.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The club as a whole is a good club. We're no massive club. We're friggin' a family not a family run club, but you know what I mean? It's very family orientated, especially with Laurie McKinnon at the helm. He will do, he'll do anything for the supporter base that he possibly can. And that's the biggest thing that infuriates me week in, week out. You'll see people who will friggin' bag the shit out of the club, fold the club, friggin', Hoffy's a wank, friggin' he's got to go. This bloke's got to go, la-di-da. There's no need for it. You know what I mean? There's just simply no need for it. I understand you're frustrated. I'm frustrated. Everyone's frustrated. Spare a thought for Laurie McKinnon and friggin' Ernie Merrick. How frustrated do you think they are friggin' travelling to Perth and then getting flogged? And having virtually no Yeah, I know, 100% it's their job. But at the same time,
I wouldn't be too annoyed, to be honest, if I'm getting a free holiday to Perth and you're getting paid for it as well.
You're still getting paid for it. But at the same time, obviously, okay, cool. You get to go over there for nothing or whatever it is, whatever. But you've then got to still come back, and as I said, it's his job. He then has to turn that around because no one wants to because obviously his job then will run out very quick if he's not freaking getting the results that he needs.
Again, it doesn't always stop with Laurie McKinnon either. When something like that happens, you can damn as well sure know that Martin Lee is on the phone going, what the fuck is going on? What happened? What went wrong? At the end of the day, Martin Lee owns an asset that he's trying to sell. If it's not a positively looking asset, no one's going to come in for it.
Correct. 100%. And that's it. He needs, I think personally, I said, even if he wants to sell, that's it. He needs to be doing more. He needs to do something to friggin' make it appealing for somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No one wants to buy a sinking ship. And I'm not saying the Jets are a sinking ship, but I'm saying if you've got no care factor or no interest in it and it's just a money pit for you and, whatever, who would take that off your hands?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if I had friggin' $50 million or whatever to spend or whatever, I'm not going to take that off your hands, but I can take something else off, pay an extra $5 million for it.
And win a title.
And have some sort of, that's it, chance or something that is not run to the shit house. But yeah, at the end of the day, guys, the biggest thing is freaking just get behind the guys. The results aren't going our way.
For this week, I'm not looking for a result. I'm looking for a performance.
Correct.
A performance,
100%.
Did you say?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah, the scoreline doesn't really matter. Again, we don't want to get flogged.
No, but if you put in a good performance and you come away with nothing, you've come away with a good performance.
But like you said, a performance. If the guys, if they have a good performance, the results will
That's
probably
right.
will get a result.
That's exactly right. Yeah, it may not
Right.
be this week, but that's it. You come off a good performance. That's it. Freaking. I think it was one of the coaches. I think it was. I think they got beat or whatever it was, but. Yeah, the coach come out and virtually said, he goes, look, freaking we got beat, but the performance was 110%.
Yeah.
I can't, I can't take anything more than that. I can't rock up on training on Tuesday and freaking get them to do anything differently because what they done was 100% correct.
Mm.
There was nothing wrong with it. They just got beat on the day by a better side. So, and that's where you want to be. That's where, the Jets need to be. And virtually, okay, we got beat, but at the end of the day, we can't do anything more than what we've been doing.
Yeah.
We just need to frigging ground it out a little bit, or that's it. We need to tighten the defense, or shit, Chuck and Ernie Merrick as of old, and frigging just park the bus. He's good at it.
That's the only way we're going to win.
You know what I mean? He's probably one of the best managers for it. I've watched Victory do it so many times when he was coaching them. Just park the bus. They didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Boo them. Because they're playing the ball out from the back line and just passing around the back line. Who gives a shit? He don't.
Stock standard 4-5-1, or potentially like I said, if he doesn't play Shepherd, then a stock standard 4-5-1.
Yeah.
Just stick someone up front. Just get rid of it. Organise. Boom. 0-0 halftime. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Correct. No,
if you're in a position where you haven't got the best players in the league, that's what you got to do.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do with what you got.
Obviously that's why Sydney don't do what they do. That's why Melbourne Victory this week won't sit back when they come and play us. So, but it's what it is. Again, a big one. What you said. If they go out there and they all put in a performance, I'd be happy with.
Yeah, same.
Yep.
If they all go out there and play like what Nikolai Topper-Stanley plays every week, who I reckon's been brilliant this season.
Yeah.
But via a couple games. Then then I reckon they'll pluck something out. Now we've had this conversation. You watch them go down there and win it 1-0.
Yeah.
Like I said, they'll either go down there. They'll go down there and pluck it 1-0, or they'll go down there and it'll be a stock standard 4-0 loss or something like that.
Yeah. And that's it. 100% performance, and friggin' that's it. The fans, you just got to be happy with it. I mean, as I said, miracles aren't going to happen overnight.
And we're not here to play pretty football.
No. Exactly right. That's it. We just want to friggin'
not yet anyway.
We don't yet.
Not with the players we've got.
Exactly.
Give it time. Yeah. Exactly right. But yeah, no, honestly, friggin' we'll see what happens over the weekend. We'll be back next week, and hopefully, fingers crossed. As I said, if it wasn't a result, it was the performance. You know what I mean? And we can sit there and discuss for however long a great performance by the boys, and friggin' something that they couldn't have given any more than what they did for the 90 minutes. And if the result goes our way, we'll take it as well. But if not, let's take a good performance this week and move on to next week, which I have no idea. Sydney away, Sydney Dome, sorry. So
Melbourne away, Sydney home,
and then Melbourne City.
Melbourne City away, and then Wellington away. So 4 extremely hard games.
Big.
But if they can pluck 6-7 points out of that, especially Sydney at home.
Yeah, that's the big one.
Just go out there and shithouse a 1-0.
Yeah. Well, we've shown that by changing up the system against Sydney, we can get a result. Look at it. What was it, last season or the season before? We threw out a whole bunch of youngsters and snatched it.
Yep. That's it. It doesn't have to be freaking great football. It can be ugly football. I don't care. Just as long as it gets ugly
football wins pretty.
Exactly right, mate. Exactly right. Anyway, guys, we're going to wrap it up anyway. Muchly appreciated for both of you jumping on. Benny, thanks again for organising everything, mate. As I said, stuck on an island and don't have access to internet or a computer and shit. So muchly appreciated, mate.
Not a problem, champ.
And Alex, as always, cheers. Thanks for the time, for the hour, and thanks for obviously, as I said, from a Jets fan, obviously, thanks for everything you do, mate. Obviously, as one of the admins of
Oh,
one of the
no.
Jets pages. So,
No.
as I said, mate. No, honestly, mate, friggin'
No,
it's good.
serious.
As I said, you get everything out. Friggin', you get everything that friggin' needs to be said. And,
Yeah.
You know,
No, look,
it's
again,
as I said, it's time that just fucking, you know, no one has to do it.
It's like we were just gone through, mate. It's a club which we know we're not the best, but it's a club that we want everyone to be a part of and get around of.
Exactly
You know?
right. That's it.
So that's why I do it. Again, I come out here.
That's it. That's why everyone does it.
But yeah, no, look, again, you guys are doing, it's brilliant. I'm fully for, you guys just getting on here every week and expressing your opinions, and people coming in and expressing theirs. That's absolutely brilliant. But look, I wish you all the best for Sunday. Go down there and have a bit of fun.
Yeah, mate, always.
Hopefully for you guys mainly, it's an enjoyable game for you guys to go down there and see. And like I said, if they can just go down there and they can just, keep grinding and grinding and grinding, it will be like the Jets to just go down there and shithouse a 1-0 win. It just will be. And then everything from then on in just changes. Because if they can win this week, that'll be absolutely massive, because when they play Sydney, they'll get a good crowd. They may got a good, and then that will lead to maybe a good crowd in Bay 1, and then everything leads from results. So it's a knock-on effect for the Jets if they can string one good result together. I think it was you, Benny, who said it earlier on, mate. If they can, the Jets every time in a season they always have one month where they string like about 4 out of 5 wins or something like that, and then we get to the back end of the season sitting about 7th, then we always just miss out. But if we can if we're just near that top 6 every now and again, you never know. But look, lads, like I said, all the best for Sunday. Go down there, have a good time, and sink a few beers, because that's what football's all about. Go down there with your mates, sink a few beers, have a laugh, and then everyone goes home happy and healthy at the end of the day, no matter what.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, and again, just to go on that, we're here talking about football and having a laugh and stuff, but there's people out there who are really really finding it tough and losing hope. So, and that's the main thing. So shout out to everyone there, and hope everyone stays safe and all that, because it's pretty rough. I've never seen it as bad as what it is up in Newcastle, that's for sure.
Absolutely, which is exactly what I was going to lead into just before as we wrap it up. I was going to say just a big shout out to obviously everybody who is doing it tough, all the firefighters, RFA, obviously the SES and everything else, all the volunteers and everyone else who is, doing whatever and obviously the military and everything that's obviously doing everything they possibly can to keep everyone safe
and the 39 North American firefighters that flew into Melbourne today to get onto the southeast Gippsland fire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so obviously, as I saying, the military and all that doing what they can to. It's good to see. Obviously, everyone pulling in. Obviously, everyone's giving out whatever they can, donating food and hay bales and all that shit for all the animals. We've lost so many animals and everything else. So many hectares of land and properties and shit. Mm-hmm. It's unbelievable. It's truly.
And the best that ScoMo can do, mate, is a $70 Woolworths bag of groceries.
Yeah, look, I'm not going to go into ScoMo's scenario. I think he's had his fair share. I don't think we need to go into it on here. But look, at the end of the day, as I said, it's not about him. It's about obviously Australia as a whole and everyone else sticking it to
mateship.
Yes, it's his. Yeah, mateship and getting everyone in. So, as I said, as long as everyone stays safe and everything else, that's the biggest thing. And hopefully everything dies down soon enough and we can get back to normal and everyone can enjoy 2020. But yeah, other than that, big shout out to Save the Humans as well for the intro. Thanks again, guys. Little snippet of one of their main songs.
I don't think it came through, but anyway.
Don't think it came through.
No, it didn't work this time.
Well,
that's all right. We'll get it right.
There'll be a link. I'll leave a link down there for them as well. Mate of mine's band. They play some pretty good shit. They'll be down at the Sydney Junction Hotel on the 11th of January. Saturday night. So yeah, be sure if you aren't doing anything, get down there with your mates, get onto them, have a few beers, and listen to some good music. They're a friggin' good young and up and coming band. So anyway, guys, muchly appreciated. Thanks for being with us, Benny.
Yep.
See you, mate. Thanks muchly. Alex,
Always a
same to you, mate. Thanks.
No worries at all. Thanks for having me.
Righto, mate. And as always, Benny, we hate
Coast Scum.
Coast Scum.